One of the things that I've been thinking about recently is the decisions that I've been making in my life and the decisions that I have made in my life. And one of the things that came up over and over again is my fear of making a decision because I'm afraid that the decision is going to be wrong. So I spend a lot of time analyzing, I spend a lot of time thinking, I spend a lot of time seeking validation from other people, asking them questions, thinking, just trying to make sure that I've covered all of those ends so that when I do make a decision, it's actually correct. There's two things that are wrong with this, obviously. First of all, is that you can never be sure that a decision you're going to make is right because there's a million different possibilities, a million different ways it could go. And so even if you thought you took care of every possible scenario, you actually haven't, and it might result in the decision being, or the scenario not working out as you wanted it to, right? And the second thing is that, like I said, you can't take care of all the different scenarios that are possible. So even though you might think that you have, you haven't. And it's just a way you're making yourself feel better, I guess. But I thought to myself, why do I need to make myself feel better about these things? Why do I need to make myself feel better about the decisions I'm making? Why don't I trust myself enough that when I instinctually think, oh, you know what, I think this is the right decision, my instinct is telling me so, my gut is telling me so, why can't I just trust myself? Why can't I just believe in my gut? And why is it so hard? Why do I need to rely on someone else to tell me that you're right? Or why do I need to rely on lists or analysis or outside scenarios in order to prove to my thinking mind that I'm right and the decision is right? Why do I need to rely on that? It's just something that I don't like, because if you're relying on outside sources for validation, eventually you're going to run out of these sources, or they're going to say something that is incorrect. They're not basing the decision on what's right for you. They're basing it on their life experiences. So the decision you're making on your own, it has to be based on your own thinking, your own life experience, what is right for you, and that's something that only you can tell yourself, right? Another thing that I've realized about decisions is that if you look back on your life, and if I look back upon my life, there have been no wrong decisions. Really, if you go back, and obviously they say hindsight is 50-50, but there really have been no wrong decisions. Any decision that I can kind of term like it didn't result in the right scenario for me or whatever. It wasn't that the decision was wrong. It was that in my head, I think the path that I took because of this decision was wrong. The reality for me is that you're going to make a lot of decisions in your life, and if you want to live in this fast-paced world, you have to make them really, really, really quick. So you make a decision and you course correct. You make a decision, you course correct, depending on the feedback that you receive from the world. But if you start thinking that you're going to make a decision that's wrong, you're going to be at a standstill. You're going to start worrying about the decision you're making. You're going to start taking more time making these decisions. You're going to waste a lot of time analyzing and validating. But if you just realize that no decision is wrong, it's just a path that you're taking, it's a choice that you're making, and you make that choice, you move towards something, maybe you course correct, you move differently. It's just it's like a huge web that you're in, and you're basically making a decision, moving into one path in the web, making another decision, moving on a different path in the web, and things like that. So really, there are no wrong decisions. They're just pathways, choices that you're making. And in that way, you can kind of start making decisions really quickly and start moving towards your goals a little bit faster, because you're not worrying so much about making the right decision, because there are no right decisions. Every decision you make is just a choice. There are no rights or wrongs. If you start thinking that way, you're going to start moving a little bit faster towards your goals, and you'll start receiving quicker feedback from the universe and from yourself, from your gut, basically. When you're talking about the universe, it's basically your gut or your connection to the universe that's telling you, you're right, or I don't know if this is where you're supposed to be going, make this change and maybe you'll be right again. Again, this is really, it's a topic that I've been thinking about for a while. I haven't really fleshed it out very well. Maybe I was a bit confusing when I was speaking about it, but I'm going to be speaking about it a bit more in my coming videos, just because it's such an important topic to me. I spend a lot of time with my clients on this as well, because everyone is just inundated by a lot of choices that are in this universe, and they're afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. But like I say, there are no wrong decisions. They're just choices, and you just, and once you make a choice, you will realize, like I said, the universe rewards action. So you'll make a decision, and you'll get feedback really, really quickly, and then you can start moving on from there. So I'd love to hear from you guys if you're interested in any feedback, or if you're interested in learning more about my coaching sessions. I'd love to talk to you guys about that. I'm sorry my voice is a little bit off. I just have a little bit of a cold. And again, so like I said, I'd love to hear from you. I'm signing off now, but have a great week and a happy life.